Welcome to the ISB show. I'm your host, Sahil, here with Ishana, covering another U.S. women's national team friendly, this time from the Netherlands, Ishana. And wow, lot to talk about there. It was Alyssa Naeher's last match on the U.S. women's national team. And boy, did they need her today.
I mean, talk about a way to go out. My gosh, like she has to have one of the best last games ever because that was amazing way to send off into national team retirement. However, also makes me very nervous because there is nobody like her. I'm sorry, but the scoreboard would have looked a lot different in that first half if it was not for her and some plays in the second half as well.
Yeah, so U.S. women's national team fans who are enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the match. Let's start with the first half, Ishana, because this was a complete domination by the Netherlands.
I mean, I probably haven't seen as poor of a performance by the U.S. women's national team since the World Cup. It looked a lot like the World Cup, actually, in the sense of just being very disorganized, choppy, issues in the midfield. But yeah, I mean, there was
like that Netherlands match in the World Cup, right? Like the first time we saw that first half. Yeah.
That's a good comp, actually. It's interesting. I mean, I do understand that Emma Hayes. So she, first off, she played Jaden Shaw on the 9, which Jaden Shaw is not even comfortable playing, and everybody knows that. And she wants her to work on it. But I personally don't think she has enough speed up there to play that position. And you could see she kind of was unclear on what to do. But really, the big issue was in our midfield and our defense, particularly on that left wing. We were just getting gassed. I mean, I think both Tierna Davidson and Nijswanger really struggled on that side. Lindsay Horan wasn't really defending too much. We kept getting caught in that pocket of Danielle Van de Donk and Ward, who honestly, like, Van de Donk is awesome. I think she's a great player. She's super skillful. And really the only shot we had on goal was Rose Lavelle early on. That was pretty much it. And I will say, I thought Rose Lavelle played okay. She's just so fast. Her footwork is so fancy. The problem is, I think we played a little bit too frantic in the beginning. I think it was around the 38th minute, I want to say, that the play finally slowed down a little bit and we played it a little bit more horizontally to kind of break up that momentum. But otherwise, Netherlands is both the men's and the women's team, I think, is notorious for attack, counter press. We almost slipped into a low block at one point, and I think the only way to kind of counter that is to try and bring the pace down, break up the momentum.
Yeah, I think it was a very interesting first half, and I'll say interesting, and I'll use that term loosely. But one thing I want to say is I want to talk about the Netherlands briefly. What a turn of events for Berman. She goes out and scores a goal, a beautiful header, and then she scores almost as beautiful as of a header inadvertently into her own goal. Like, what a turn of events. Because if it wasn't for that header, I didn't see any way of the U.S. women's national team getting back in the first half. We'll talk about the second half shortly.
No, I mean, they got very lucky. I want to say luck, but also I think Alyssa Naeher played one of the best games I've ever seen her play. And while I think they did get lucky a little bit on some of those, ones that skirted the post and this and that, I do think Naeher really was the player who saved them. And yeah, I mean, she made some amazing saves. And, I think I would say it still wasn't, people played okay, but it was, it was one of those things where I was watching the first half and I was like, oh gosh, do we have that depth in the midfield? I mean, is this just our midfield? And then obviously second half, prove me wrong in that
Yeah.
capacity. I will say one thing before we get to the second half. I do think Corbin Albert played a little bit better this game.
Yeah, I
I
would agree.
still don't think she has reached the I just think ever since that scandal, her confidence has been thrown a little bit, and I think that's going to take some time for her to come back to. But I thought she played a little bit better, and I think having her start maybe got her that little kickstart. And, it was fun to see all these matchups with, we had some PSG players, we had some Arsenal players, we had some Lyon players. Yeah, it was fun. It was like a European showdown.
Friendly fire on some of the European teams on the Netherlands. But okay, so I agree with you. I think, we all know Corbin Albert is a fantastic player, and I think she just needs to reach those heights again. And I saw the improvement game over game as well from her. Credit to Emma Hayes, because the changes she made during the half, this is what a world-class coach does for you. So I think the changes she made a world of difference in the second half.
Yeah, I completely agree. I want to mention the only other player I think outside of Naeher who played really well was Ryan. I think the whole game she played well. And but as soon as, taking out, first of all, putting in Sonnet made a tremendous difference. I mean, she's really kind of honed in on that territory. And, whether it's because obviously, Tiernan Davidson has been out, but I think switching that up was definitely good. I loved her bringing in Hal Hirschfeld. That's exactly who I wanted her to bring in. And, Lily Johannes, it's fun to see her out there, and it's fun to see her also playing against a team she easily could have committed to. I will say she's a little casual on the ball, and I think, she needs to develop. But for me, along with, I think, Sonnet and that midfield switch up, bringing on Lynn Williams. Again, I don't care what anyone says. She is a power sub. I don't know what else she needs to do to prove herself, because she already has in countless times,
Yeah, for sure.
in the Olympics now. And I also think bringing on Alyssa Thompson to get that speed on the wing was good, because at the end of the day, if you're going to play in the 9, you just have to have speed. So even if a player like Lynn Williams, she's very scrappy. She doesn't convert everything, but she is there. I mean, how many times has she scored like that, where it's just a little poke in there? She's going to be there. She's not going to be trailing back. She's not going to have trouble tracking back as well to defend. And that's on account of, I think, her speed.
And a moment of brilliance from Yazmeen Ryan. That ball that she delivered to Lynn Williams was fantastic. I agree with you. I think Yazmeen Ryan has cemented herself as a staple on this national team. She played a fantastic match from the beginning to the end. And that ball she delivered to Lynn Williams was a great finish by Lynn Williams as well. That snatched a match for the U.S. women's national team that they had no business winning. And that was an incredible goal.
Yeah. And, like you were saying, credit to Emma Hayes for just, I mean, even the pace of the second half, everything, it was just, you could again see them playing a little bit more horizontally, where we were like, no. Okay, this is our game. We're going to control the ball. We're going to get it here. And it worked, It was just, obviously, I think that own goal maybe through Netherlands a little bit, but it was just a really good coaching call, basically.
Yeah, and let's finish here. We got to talk about Alyssa Naeher, and it's the start and the finish. I mean, she makes a fantastic save in the second half, where she's sliding across her goal and then sticks her foot out and blocks a sure goal. We, of course, were helped by the fact that Van de Donk didn't finish that last chance at the end of the match.
I was going to say, that was, honestly, I thought that was a sitter. And she put her jersey up on her head. She knew exactly what was happening. But that was honestly unfortunate. It was truly, I thought that was going in. And it might have been more exciting. But
it might have ended up, but it didn't on this day. And going back to Alyssa there, I mean, what a career for the U.S. women's national team, and this match epitomized it all. Truthfully speaking, I think what you said, what we all realized, all us U.S. women's national team fans, is there's no replacement for Alyssa Naeher, and it's actually a position where the U.S. is gonna actually miss a lot.
Yeah, I actually think it's going to impact them more than they think because, while our backups are great, they don't have the level of experience that she has playing internationally, and I think people almost underestimate how additive she really is to the team. It's going to be tough. I mean, that obviously that first half was showcases why, but these aren't also easy saves. I think that is the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
some of those were world-class saves.
And you
And
think you think about the save against Netherlands in the second half, the save against Brazil in the Olympic final, and
Mhm.
the save against Germany in the semifinals. These are all moments where there's one moment in every match where Alyssa Naeher is going to have an out of the world save.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, even in the World Cup, that save against Sweden in the PKs, sorry, I called it a save. It was not technically not a save, but it was
Yeah.
an inch over the line. That just goes to show. I think Nair said herself, she's like, I consider that a save.
Yeah.
And while it was nice seeing this new talent on the pitch, like I Sentner, who got to have her second cap at the end, I thought she actually played quite well in the short time she was there. And as we're making way for all these new players, I it's sad in a way. I think I think part of the US or this particular generation of the team, I think part of the magic is carefully weaving the vets in with the new talent. And I think it's a little sad that she's not there. And I think it's definitely going to shake things up. I understand why she's leaving because of that reason, to help kind of usher the change. But I don't know. I could have done with a little bit more of her.
I think we all could have done with a little bit more of Alyssa Naeher as U.S. women's national team fans. So let's finish up there. The U.S. women's national team win their last match of 2024 and a fantastic match for Alyssa Naeher as she retires from the international game and the international team and from the U.S. women's national team. For all of you enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel. Final words as we finish off this video, Ishana, as we finish off the career of Alyssa Naeher for the U.S. women's
I
national team.
mean, I would say just thank you to Alyssa Naeher for time and time again representing us, saving us, and also I think thank you, Emma Hayes. I think you have really transformed the game and our team, and I think you're making everything really exciting, and I'm just excited to look forward, but also gonna miss what we're leaving behind.
Yes, I think we can all say that, and I'll say it proudly today as we look forward to the new year and the new things that the U.S. women's national team will bring us. Go USA!